Good day everyone, this is Teacher Kim, and in this video, I'll be sharing to you the measures of central tendency of group data. So the objectives of the sharing are, first, we have to state the formula in finding the mean, median, and mode of group data. Second, we have to find the mean, median, and mode of group data. So starting with the mean of group data. So what is mean of group data? So it is the process of finding the average of a set of data that are grouped together in a different categories. So in our previous lesson, I have already discussed the mean of ungrouped data. So this time we will be discussing the mean of grouped data. So this means that our data is grouped or in different categories. So to find the mean of grouped data, the following formula can be used. So mean is equal to summation of f of x divided by the summation of f. So where f is the frequency of each class, x is the class mark of each class, f of x is the product of frequency and class mark, and summation of f of x is the sum of all the f of x. And lastly, we have the summation of f, it is the sum of frequency. Let's have an example in finding the mean of group data. So example number 1, we have the score of a grade 7 students in the 4th periodical test is shown at the table below. So find the mean. So we have here the table, first column score, second column we have the frequency. So 46 to 50 we have 2 frequency, 41 to 45 we have 2, 36 to 40 we have 5 frequency, 31 to 35 we have 7, and 26 to 30 we have 4. Again, to find the mean of group data, step 1, we have to find the class mark for each class interval. So here in our table, I have already discussed this in our previous lesson on how to find the class mark, right? In order to do that, we had to add the lower boundary or the lower limit and the upper limit. So here in our score, 46, 41, 36, 31, and 26, so these score are lower limit. And 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, so these are the upper limit. So again, to compute the class mark, we had to add the lower limit and the upper limit and divided by 2. So here, 26 to 30, we have 26 plus 30 divided by 2 is equal to 28. So next is we have 31 plus 35 divided by 2, we have 33. So 36 plus 40 divided by 2, we have 38. 41 plus 45 divided by 2, we have 43. And 46 plus 50 divided by 2, we have 48. So that is how to solve for the class mark of this table. Again, to solve for the class mark, you have to add the lower limit and the upper limit. So for example, here in our first table, first row, we have 46 and 50, right? So we have to add 46 and 50 divided by 2. So that is why we have 48. Because when we calculate that one, 46 plus 50 divided by 2, it will result to 48. So continue the process in solving for the class mark. So 41 plus 45, we have 43. 41 plus 45 divided by 2, we have 43. 36 plus 40 divided by 2, we have 38. 31 plus 35 divided by 2, we have 33. And 26 plus 30 divided by 2, we have 28. Second step in solving for the mean of group data, we have multiply each class mark x by the corresponding frequency f. So here to solve for the f of x, we simply multiply frequency and class mark. So here in our first row, we have frequency 2 and class mark we have 48. So that is why we have 96 here, because 48 times 2 is 96. Second, we have 2 and class mark 43, we have 86. 5 times 38, we have 190. 7 and 33, we have 231. And 4 times 28, we have 112. Again, to solve for the f of x, we simply multiply the frequency and the class mark. Step 3 in solving for the mean of group data, we have add all the values in frequency f and f of x. So since we have here the frequency and we already solved for the f of x, so we will simply add all the frequency. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4 is equal to 20. And f of x, we will add this f of x, so 96 plus 86 plus 190 plus 231 plus 112 is the result to 715. So again, step 3, we have to add all the values in frequency f and f of x. So our summation of our f is equal to 20 and summation of our f of x is equal to 715. So step 4, we had to solve for the mean, of course, applying the formula that I have introduced to you earlier. So mean is equal to summation of f of x divided by summation of f, which is the frequency. So here, summation of f of x, we have 715 divided by summation of our f, we have 20. So that is why we have 715 divided by 20. So to calculate that one, it will result to 35.75. So therefore, the mean score of the grade 7 students in the 4th periodical test is 35.75. So moving on to the second measures of central tendency of group data, we have the median of group data. So what is median of group data? So it is the middle value in a set of quantities. So it separates an ordered set of data into two equal parts. So half of the quantities is located above the median and the other half is found below it. So whenever the quantities are arranged according to magnitude, so from highest to lowest. So to find the median of a group data, we use the formula median is equal to LB sub MC plus the quantity of summation of f divided by 2 minus CF all over f sub MC times the I. So where LP sub MC is the lower boundary of the median class, F is the frequency of each class, so CF is the cumulative frequency of the lower class next to the median class, so F sub MC is the frequency of the median class, and I is the class interval. Okay, let's have an example in finding the median of group data. So example number 1, we have the table shows the data of scores in a mastery test in one of the classes of Mrs. Santos. So what is the median of frequency distribution? So we have here the table. So first column, we have the scores. And second, we have the frequency. So scores 46 to 50, we have 1 frequency. 41 to 45, we have 4. 36 to 40, we have 8. 31 to 35, we have 12. 26 to 30, we have 10. 21 to 25, we have 11. Again, to solve for the median of group data, step 1, we have to find the class boundary for each class interval. Again, to find the class boundary, I have already discussed this in our previous lesson, right? So we have 26, so 26 plus 25 divided by 2 is equals to 25.5. So put it simply, to solve for the class boundary, we simply subtract 0.5 to our lower limit. Again, here in scores, 46, 41, 36, 31, 26, 21, these are the lower limit. And 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, and 25, so these are the upper limit. Again, to solve for the class boundary, we simply subtract 0.5 to our lower limit. So here, 21 minus 0.5, that is why we had 20.5. So 26 minus 0.5, we had 25.5. 31 minus 0.5, we have 30.5. 36 minus 0.5, we have 35.5. 41 minus 0.5, we have 40.5. 46 minus 0.5, we have 45.5. Again, to solve for the class boundary, we simply subtract 0.5 to our lower limit. So, second step in solving for the median of group data, we have find the cumulative frequency. So it is done by adding the frequency in each step. For example, the bottom frequency is 11, so the next frequency is 10, so the cumulative frequency is 21 because 10 plus 11 is equal to 21. Again, to solve for the cumulative frequency, as you can see here, the bottom of our frequency is 11, right? We simply copy 11 to our last column of our cumulative frequency. So 11. So second is we have 10 in our frequency, right? So 11 plus 10, we have 21. That is why in our upper of our 11, we have 21. So continue the process. So 21 plus 12, we have 33. 33 plus 8, we have 41. 41 plus 4, we have 45. And 45 plus 1, we have 46. Again, to solve for the cumulative frequency, I have already discussed this in our previous lesson, right? So we have to copy first the number, the bottom of our frequency, which is 11. There we have 11 in the last bottom of our cumulative frequency. So 11 plus 10. Where is 10? In the second bottom of the frequency in our table. So we have 10. So 11 plus 10, we have 21. And continue the process. So 21 plus 12, we have 33. 33 plus 8, we have 41. 41 plus 4, we have 45. 45 plus 1, we have 46. Okay, for the third step in solving for the median of group data, we have find the 50% of the total frequency. So we have this formula, summation of f divided by 2. So here in our table, we simply add all the frequency we have. So 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 10 plus 11. So if we add all these numbers, it will result to 46. So again, summation of f is equal to 46 divided by 2. So 46 divided by 2 is equal to 23. Thus, the 23rd score is contained in the class interval of 31 to 35. This means that the median falls within the class boundaries of 31 to 35, that is 30.5. Okay, so why is it that the 23rd score falls or contained in the class interval of 31 to 35? It's because since we are looking for the 23rd score, so here please look at the column of cumulative frequency. So for at the bottom we have 11, right? And second is we have 21. So we are looking for 23rd. So 21 is not the right answer. And next is we have 33. And we know that between 21 and 33 is where the 23rd score is located. That is why our class interval or the 23rd score is contained in the class interval of 31 and 35. Okay, for the fourth step in solving for the median of group data, we have find the median of the frequency distribution. So use the formula. So I have already discussed the formula in solving for the median of group data, right? So from the frequency distribution table, we have here to solve for the class interval, we will subtract 31 minus 26 is equal to 5. So our class interval here is 5. So our frequency of the median class, we have 12. And for our lower boundary of the median class, we have 30.5. And for our cumulative frequency of the lower class next to the median, or our CF, is equal to 21. So remember all these values since we will be using this in solving for the median of group data. So here in our formula, we simply substitute the values. So our lower boundary of middle class, we have 30.5 plus summation of f, we have 46 divided by 2 minus cumulative frequency, low frequency of the lower class next to the median class, we have 21 divided by 12 times 5, which is our class interval. So 30.5 plus, so 46 divided by 2, we have 23 minus 21 divided by 12 times 5. So 30.5 plus, so 23 minus 21 is 2 divided by 12 times 5. So 30.5 plus, so 2 times 10, we have 2 times 5, we have 10 divided by 12. So 30.5 plus, so 10 divided by 12 is 0.8333. So 30.5 plus 0.8333 is equal to 31.3333. So therefore, the median of the scores in mastery test in one of the classes of Mrs. Santos is 31.3333. Okay, next we have mode of group data. So what is mode of group data? So the mode of group data can be approximated using the formula. So mode is equal to LB sub MO plus D sub 1 divided by D sub 1 plus D sub 2 times I. So where LB sub MO is the lower boundary of the modal class, so D sub 1 is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next upper class. So D sub 2 is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next lower class. And the I is the class interval. Okay, let's have an example in solving for the mode of group data. So example number 1, we have the table shows the score points made by volleyball players in a game series. So what is the mode of this data? So we have here the table. So first column we have the points, and second column we have the frequency. So 26 to 30 we have 2 frequency, 21 to 25 we have 5, 16 to 20 we have 3, 11 to 15 we have 8, 6 to 10 we have 2. So again, to solve for the mode of group data, step 1, we have to find the class boundary of each class. So here in our table, again, to solve for the class boundary, we simply subtract 0.5 to our lower limit. So here it scores 26, 21, 16, 11, 6. So these are the lower limit. Again, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. These are the upper limit. Again, to solve for the class boundary, we simply subtract 0.5 to our lower limit. So here, 26 minus 0.5, we have 25.5. 21 minus 0.5, we have 20.5. 16 minus 0.5, we have 15.5. 11 minus 0.5, we have 10.5. And 6 minus 0.5, we have 5.5. Okay, for the second step in solving for the mode of group data, we have, since class 11 to 15 has the highest frequency, therefore the modal class is 11 to 15. So as you can see here in our table, so the highest frequency is 8, right? And 8 is located at the class interval of 11 to 15. So that is why 11 to 15 is our modal class, or our frequency, which is 8. Highest frequency 8 is our modal class. So here is step 3. We have to compute for D sub 1, D sub 2, and the class interval. So since we have already located our modal class, which is 8, so we will solve for the D sub 1. So for D sub 1 is the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next upper class. So D sub 1 is equal to 8 minus 3. So if you go back to our table, so the number above 8 is 3. So 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. So for D sub 2, we have the difference between the frequencies of the modal class and the next lower class. So D sub 2 is equal to 8, which is our modal class, minus 2, which is 2, the lower number of our modal class. We have 2, right? So 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. And for the class interval, So we have 16 minus 11, or it can be 11 minus 6 is equal to 5. So that is how to solve for the class interval. We simply look at the lower limit and add 11 and 6. Again, our lower limit is 11, 6, right? So 11 minus 6, or 16 minus 11 is 5. Okay, for the last step, or for step 4 in solving for the mode of group data, we have find the mode using the formula. So we have here the formula. Mode is equal to the lower boundary of model class plus d sub 1 divided by d sub 1 plus d sub 2 times I, or the class interval. So since we have the values of d sub 1 and d sub 2 and class interval, we simply substitute these values to our formula to solve for the mode. So lower boundary of model class, we have 10.5. Just go back to the table that we have earlier for you to know why is it our lower boundary model class is 10.5. So 10.5 plus our d sub 1, we have 5, right? Divided by d sub 1, 5, plus d sub 2, we have 6, and our class interval is 5. So 10.5 plus, so 5 plus 6, we have 11 times 5, which is our class interval. So 10.5 plus, so 5 times 5, we have 25 divided by 11. So 25 divided by 11 is 2.2727. So 10.5 plus 2.2727 is equal to 12.7727. So therefore, the mode of the score points is 12.77. So we have to round off to the nearest hundreds.